All right. Hello. Let me actually adjust this. I think I cranked the gain, making it pick up a lot of things that it shouldn't. Okay. It's been a while since I've streamed. I think 6 months? More? I definitely streamed on my birthday. I did some Parasite Eve, and I think that was the last time. So that was January. So yeah, it would have been 6 months. I definitely need to stop doing that. Stop skipping out on streams. I'm gonna try and return to maybe not every day, every other day. I would like to do every other day. That was my plan. At least 4 days a week. But you know, sometimes it's hard to stick to that. Especially right now. Everything kind of sucks. You know? Wait, what? Okay, that's as far back as it'll go. Am I on like a playlist? Where did it even pick this music from? This was not the first song that was on here. I open this up. Where is it? Anywho, today I'm going to be playing some Elden Ring. I've recently gotten pretty involved in Elden Ring Night Rain. I've beaten the entire game and gotten every single thing, beaten every single boss, even the harder versions of the bosses. And so a friend of mine bought me Elden Ring to play through that as well. I'm kind of excited to go through it. I've never done it before. It's been a little while since I played a full FromSoft game that wasn't like obviously Elden Ring is a full game, but it's multiplayer focused. It's not the same vibe. It's not the same like mechanics really. It's much more slower paced and more methodical, and you can practice bosses over and over until you beat them. Whereas Night Rain is kind of like a race against the clock, and you kind of just have to learn as quickly as possible. Often learning a boss the first time you fight it to try and beat it right then. Because if you don't, you're going to have to spend another half hour getting back to it. Which is a choice. It's an interesting choice. Oh, I didn't bring up my model yet. That probably would have been an important thing to do. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep my model on the whole time. For a number of reasons. Let's put this on for now. I mean, I think Elden Ring's a pretty light, graphically, a pretty light experience. Let's reopen that. boom, boom, boom. This music's pretty good. Pretty funky. USB video device. Okay. Universe. Ding 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 bang 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 bing bing. Why is the camera not turning on? Okay, there it is. Okay. 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 We're moving. I should maybe put the hand tracker thing on my throne. Not that anybody's ever put any money towards anything on my throne, but I'd love to have hand tracking so that I could do hand gestures and stuff. That would be cool. My friend was supposed to send me his Kinect, but that never happened. He lives across the country, though, so it's kind of a pain in the ass, you know. Even a small package is it takes a long time and, you know, annoying. Anyway, how have you been doing? How's it been going? How's everything been? I've mostly been the same. I've definitely felt like creatively drained. You know, I was like still doing edit. Even when I stopped streaming, I was still doing like editing stuff for videos and images, and then I just kind of stopped because I felt like nothing was working, and I kind of, you know, I just felt like everything I was trying to do was failing. So I didn't didn't really do anything. So that's you know. You know what I should do today after stream if I'm not gonna pass out right away? I should finish making emotes. I only ever made the one. Somebody else made the other one, which I appreciate. It was No Sharko. She did a raffle kind of on Twitter. And you know, it was very nice of her to give away the emotes. But so that's the soda one. But the other one I made just by taking a picture of my model and just slightly drawing over it. I just drew the eyes and eyebrow and the mouth to accentuate the expression, especially at lower resolution, because it's like, you know, kind of unreadable if it's too small. In fact, I should probably redo that one too, because the eyebrows are a little lost. You can really only tell what it is when it's like highlighted over. But I think I'll go with those for now because like they're just easy and cheap. I probably need to redo the face to have the lines on it because the lines I put on my face, they weren't there when I made the model initially. Maybe they might make it muddier looking, so maybe I won't. But yeah, that's something I should do. You know, actually give people things to have for their subscription. Not that people are subscribing to me, but you know, whatever. Anyway, yeah, you know, just things to work on. Other than that, I played some Mecha Break. I've been playing some Mecha Break. That was fun for a while. And then what happened is I got into the top 200, and it sucks being in the top 200. The pressure's always on. Yeah, matches aren't fun anymore. They're hard. And anytime you have someone who's even slightly slacking off, you just get completely stomped. It's like one of those games like League of Legends where if one person isn't very good, the whole team just suffers endlessly. And it's also one of those games like League or something like that. Well, maybe not even League is a good example. I don't know what is a good example. Because the time to kill an enemy is kind of high. The amount of damage that you need to put out is like quite a lot in comparison to most games. Engagements can be like 5, 10, 20 seconds long. You're not like headshotting someone and then putting them out of commission. You're spending lots of time just shooting at them 600 bullets or some shit like that. What happens is when people die, it creates a snowball. There's like a snowball. It's just a snowball rolling downhill. They just pick up more and more momentum as more and more people die. So you have less and less damage on your team, and also less people to contest objectives. And the respawn timer is kind of long. And in order to get quick kills, you really need at least 5 people focusing really hard on somebody to down them. And if they aren't, those people don't die and they get healed up. And then it's just. And the other side of the problem is that the game ranking system is designed in such a way that it pushes everyone up constantly. There are bots from the lowest rank until Grandmaster. So like you can fight bots pretty much all the way up to the top like 3 or 4 ranks in the ranking system. And then so you're thrown in with the like top, let's say 1,000 people in the game, period. And you've fought bots the whole time until then, potentially, obviously, like you're not going to fight bots the whole entire way, but quite often you'll fight bots for quite a while. And bots don't play good. They don't focus fire at all. They don't even boost to a lot of areas because it's mecha break, so it's mechs, right? And you have evasions, and then you have boosting, which is like sustained, like a sprinting, basically. Like think of it like sprinting in like a normal FPS. And so imagine like if you were playing an FPS and everybody sprints to objectives, but bots don't. So if you're fighting against bots, you basically can go to an objective and take it before anyone even shows up. But if you're playing against players, they'll show up not only by using their boost on time, but they'll usually set up early and try and get like 1 or 2 kills as you're moving there. Like they catch you in between objectives, like where your team's sort of more spread out because faster, lighter guys get there faster, and so you take down the faster, lighter guys, and then the heavy guys finally come in, but everybody's already dead, so they're at a disadvantage. And anyway, so that just keeps happening. People aren't used to it because they've just been fighting bots and players that don't know how to do that. And so solo queuing at that rank sucks ass because I would say 75% of the people are amazing and work together and collaborate and communicate and do well. But then 25% of the people suck ass. They don't know how to play the game at a high level. They are not ready for that level of challenge, but they've been boosted because you get so many points for winning and you do not lose a lot of points for losing, and you can never go down a rank. You can only ever go up. and you can fight bots, which don't play well anyway. So you just kind of float your way all the way to the top ranks, and then you suddenly go against hard teams, and then you don't know how to fight them because you've never experienced that before at any point in your journey up there. And then they're only making it worse because they're actually dropping a patch today. I think it's today. They're dropping a patch, I think today, that is going to make it so if you're bronze, silver, or gold, you cannot go down any points. So I mentioned you can't go down ranks. So that means if you're gold, you can't go back down to silver, ever. But they're making it so that if you lose a match in gold, you don't lose anything. And you just always move up. So basically, platinum is going to be the bottom of the bottom. Everyone is going to be platinum. No one is going to be below platinum in like a week. Because eventually you'll just win all your matches. Or if you keep losing against players, right? Like if you're in bronze and you win, you'll only go against bronze and silver players. But if all the bronze and silver players move to gold and platinum, you won't have any players to play against, so it'll throw you against bots. So you'll just win for free against bots and move up to silver and then gold. And then once you're in gold, you'll go to platinum, and then you could fight players again. But you'll still probably mostly fight against bots. I don't understand why. Like, it bewilders me. Why are they doing that? They're making it so that basically nobody's going to be bronze or silver or gold. Everyone's going to be platinum. Platinum is the new lowest rank. So really, it's like this goalpost moving where platinum is now the lowest. Like if you're in platinum, you're worthless. You're literally the newbiest of the newbie. And everything below that is like playing casuals. Like not even playing. I mean, honestly, like most of it's playing casuals until you're like master, grandmaster. Then you start like actually coming against players more often. Yeah, it bewilders me. Like they put in a ranked system. They have a casual queue, which kudos to them. I'll say they're putting rewards in the casual queue, which they actually had no. You couldn't earn anything by doing casual queue, like nothing. Like it's literally pointless to play. Like you might as well play custom lobbies at that point. Because casual queue would just give you nothing, and you have to enter it through a special menu. Like the default is ranked mode. And then they're making it worse. Like they're just making it worse. I don't know why they're making it worse. Like this is the patch that makes the game worse. Because now people are going to have like overinflated egos. They're going to be like, I'm platinum. I'm a platinum. You know, it's like if you play League of Legends or you play Smite or I don't know, fucking any competitive game, you go, a platinum player's like, you kind of got the basics down. You've fought you've done like 50, 100 matches. I'll be honest. I'm in champion. It's the second highest rank, so it's like 5,000 rank points or whatever. I have like 180 games total. I have like 100 wins. Like I have 20 hours played. It's like not. I shouldn't be here. I should be in like diamond at best, maybe. Which I would be fine with if the match quality was better. You know, I'd rather be lower rank than have an overinflated rank and fucking every game sucks ass. But yeah. So I dropped from, I was like 180. Now I'm like 300 because everybody else stacks at this rank. They're all grouping and I'm solo queue all the time. So I always get the randoms that don't know how to play. Like we'll have a match where the enemy team, everybody on the enemy team does 400,000 damage. I'll do 4 or 500,000 damage, and then I'll have people on my team that do 100,000 damage. And I know that damage isn't the end all be all, right? You have to be able to like chase and confirm kills, but they don't do that either. Like they're not doing anything. So we just lose because I'm like the only person contributing. And I don't think I'm the best player ever. It's that the other people don't belong in the rank that we're in because their ranking system is fucked up. And those people would fall out if they allowed people to drop ranks. Like they would go back down below this rank and be in the rank that they're supposed to be in. But they don't do that for some reason. And they're just, like I said, they're just making it worse. I don't understand it. Anyway, enough about me bitching about my niche interest game that nobody cares about. Let me think. What else has been going on? I mean, the world is on fire as usual. Everything kind of sucks, but I guess there's not really anything but. I don't really have anything but to say about the world. Just fucking sucks. Like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah. Nah. It seems at least like some people are starting to realize that everybody's full of shit. Um, you know, and maybe the people who are saying that they're gonna do good things for you and constantly didn't do that and have historically never done that. Maybe those people aren't the people who are going to do good things for you. And the people that sometimes do good things for you but fail quite often anyway because of business interests also are not great, but maybe just slightly better, you know? Like the people who say, I want to fucking lock everybody up and kill them, and I want everybody who to starve and be homeless. Like maybe those aren't the good people. Because they mean you too, right? Like that's the thing. They mean you too. They don't mean everyone except you should starve. They mean you too. You know. And the really rich guy who hangs out with really other rich and powerful guys and was born into richness and powerfulness and hung out with certain guys who owned planes and islands. Maybe that guy who was hanging out with that guy all the time isn't the guy who's gonna tell you the truth about that guy because he's like one of his best friends. Like maybe he's on some lists himself. You know, like maybe. Maybe, just something to consider. Especially because people on his side even say he's on the list, people who work for him directly and were kissing his ass and giving him lots of money. And they also say he's on this list, but anyway. Yeah, so anyway, then Elden Ring, Mecha Break. Let me think. What else have I been up to? There's another game coming out called Terminal Brigade. It's I'm 50-50 on it. It's like a roguelike shooty game. Don't want to work because they can't keep up with yeah. Well, I wouldn't say people don't want to work. It just doesn't make sense to work if when you're working you get fucked in the ass real hard and you can't afford to keep yourself alive. And it's not the problem of like, oh, well, uh, benefits are too good. It's that everything sucks. Everything sucks. So it's like, if you're going to get fucked in the ass either way, why would you get fucked in the ass and kill yourself and use literally half your life? Because you sleep for 8 hours a day. There are 24 hours in the day. So that means there are 16 hours left, right? So you have 16 hours a day to be alive. I don't count being asleep as being alive, right? Like for the purposes of this, like you're not able to utilize or enjoy or relax during that time, right? Sleep is just literally your body needs to physically repair itself. You can't get anything out of your sleep. Not enjoyment, not relaxation. Like honestly, sleep doesn't relax you. It just gives you the ability to not fall into dementia, because if you don't sleep, your brain starts to literally rot. But yeah, so 16 hours a day. And if you work an 8-hour shift, that's half of it. Plus you have to travel each way. So, and shower and get dressed and make sure you're shaved and your makeup's done and your hair looks good, right? Because you can't have a job if you don't do any of those things, right? So you have to do all those things. So add like another 2 to 3 hours. So really it's like 11 hours out of your 16. So that leaves you like 5 hours. And then you have to make dinner and you have to clean your apartment and do your laundry. So really you have like 3 to 4 hours a day to have your own life, have social experiences, find some inner fulfillment, right? Maybe you pray or go to church or whatever. And yeah, so like if you're going to do that and then they're going to fuck you over, and then them fucking you over by not paying you enough also means that you can't get assistance with housing or food or bills or stuff like that. It's like, why would you do it? Right? It doesn't make sense. And like 80 to 90% of people are never, ever, ever going to be millionaires. So this like idea that like, oh, well, you just have to become a millionaire and then everything's fine is just not real. It's like a fantasy. It's a fantasy that they keep selling, and then people believe it for some reason. They think like, oh, I'm just temporarily not a millionaire, but I will be. I'll work hard and become a millionaire. Yeah, look at the percentages of people that do versus don't, and you'll see that's not a reality. That's just it can't be a reality, right? At least not currently. It can't be a reality. You know, it's funny is that people complain about taxes being the thing that makes it so you can't save money, but it's like actually places that have higher tax rates. That's a secret. I'll tell you a secret here. Every country, including the U.S. in like the 1950s, that has super high tax rates, they actually have more millionaires. Like for the number of people, like percentage wise. And actually, super low taxes just means that the people who are already wealthy, they get more of the wealth to stay in their bank accounts, and then it doesn't go into other people's bank accounts because they don't have any incentive to spend it, and it doesn't go to the government because there's a secret that people always forget, which is you only pay taxes on the money that you keep. So if you own a business, right? Like the idea is like, oh, you give them tax breaks, right? And then they'll hire more people. Well, they'll have more money. So they'll hire more people. They'll make more jobs. They'll have more money, right? But like actually what happens is if you spend money, if you own a business and you spend money on that business, you don't pay money. You don't pay taxes on the money you spend. So lowering taxes doesn't affect spending. It affects their take home, not their spending. Because if you increase taxes, then they go, well, I can't take this home. I might as well spend it. Because if I spend it, I don't get taxed on money I spend. It's such a simple concept, but like nobody seems to understand that. Like, yeah, why would they spend money that they can just take home and keep and then buy houses with and drive up the housing market? But it's whatever. People aren't going to listen. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling it too much about this shit. This is not really the type of lighthearted conversation I like to do on stream. Mostly, it's just preaching and whatever. Instead, I'm gonna get ready to play Elden Ring. It's been about 40 minutes. I don't really like. I don't know. I don't have too much to talk about, even though I haven't streamed in a while, because anything that has happened in the last 6 months either was too mundane or I don't remember it, frankly. My MS is not much better. I lost my sense of smell and taste for the most part again. So that sucks. I also have like numbness on my face and whatever. But anyway, I'm not gonna drag it down. But yeah, still seeing the doctor, still trying out new stuff. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. But well, I literally can't do anything else. I try not to. How do I put this? I try not to get too bothered by it because it's literally just like it happens and I can't stop it. So I just have to take it as is. Which is frustrating sometimes, especially, like I'm like, ah man, I lost my sense of taste again. I can't taste all the things that I like. You know? Like I buy my favorite soda and I can't taste it. It's like, okay, great. So I might as well just have bought water because it's literally just liquid now. Um that sucks, but again, what the fuck can I do about it? Literally nothing. So I just have to try and distract myself. Which is a little harder because, like I said, I've kind of not been able to do anything creative for a while, which sucks. I don't know. It's just like nothing is. So for a while, it was. I felt like I was doing a lot, and none of it was working out. Like none of it was like hitting the same way. Um, and that put me into a little bit of a funk of like, I can't. I'm fucking everything up. You know. Like I thought I had a little bit of talent for a little while, and then it's like, oh, maybe I just was, getting lucky. We're not talent, but like practice and effort. Talent is a loaded term. I think sometimes people go like, "Oh, you're talented. You're born with that," and it's like, no, actually, talent is, it is a little bit of like perspective and like understanding, which is some people don't seem to be able to have, right? Like taste and stuff is, I don't know how to teach someone to have good taste. You know what I mean? Especially because most of the people that I know that have really bad taste, they refuse to engage with anything beyond like the surface level, right? Like if you go like, hey, let's watch this movie, and you watch this movie, and they'll be like, okay, yeah, that was a pretty good movie, right? And you go, okay, they liked this movie. That's like kind of difficult to follow, or maybe is a little outside of their normal type of thing they like, right? And then you try to talk to them about it. You go like, hey, what do you think of the thing where he, you know, this represented this or that represented that? And they're like, I don't know what you're fucking talking about. This is boring. I'm bored by this. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So you don't want to engage with anything, you know? They don't want to talk about like themes or story writing techniques, or oh hey, the way he shot that angle, you could tell this guy was angry just by the way the camera was tilted and stuff like I don't know, there's like a appreciation for the artistry behind things. A Gen Z stare? Oh, I kind of heard about that. I saw a thing about it. There's like two things, right? There's like two things going on there, right? It's one of the things is people just don't like retail workers, right? Because they're like, oh, you didn't say the, well, hello, good sir, how may I serve you today? And please let me bow down to you. They just go like, hey, instead of, like a whole spiel. They're like, they're not polite to me because I said hello and they said hey. And I think hey is the most rudest way you can greet someone. You must say, yes, hello, sir. How may I help you today? I am at your service completely. And it's like, bro, they're fucking paid $7 an hour, which is the same thing that they would have been paid 30 years ago. So like maybe fucking chill. They're like suffering constantly. Like they have to be there or they die and go homeless. Maybe don't like it's funny, I saw this other thing, it was related, was Americans going to Europe and being confused by European standards. And there was one was like, oh my god, this cashier has a seat, how can they let him do that? And it's like, what do you mean? Because he can sit, because he doesn't have to be uncomfortable on his feet hurting all day? Like, is the suffering quintessential to ringing up items at a cashier station? Like, can a cashier not be comfortable? Is that a requirement for you? The Irish goodbye. I will look this up. Oh, like just leaving? Yeah, I've done that before. Usually it's like when I just don't want to engage with people going, no, stay, or where are you going, or what are you doing? And you're like not having a good time and you're tired, so you just slip out. Like, I don't know. I understand that. But I think it is somewhat normal, especially if you're at like a bar or like you went with people. You know what I mean? Like if it's like a party and there's like 40 people there, maybe you like wave to the person as you're leaving, that like if your friend invited you or something. But if you're just there, yeah, you just fucking leave. Who fucking cares? Why do you have to, like, a bunch of people that might not even care about you? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, it was just the Gen Z stare, from what I saw, is on one side people being like, retail workers need to absolutely be subservient to me at all times, and they need to 100% be utmost respectful completely. And then the other thing was, the other side was people so going, oh, well, I'm a retail worker and somebody said I was doing the Gen Z stare because after they said hello and I said hey, or hi or whatever, they asked like the dumbest question ever. Like, hey Jaden, thanks for the follow. They said something like, hey, Taco Bell, does that mean you serve tacos? And it's like, yeah, yeah. Or they'll literally be, there's a menu like, you know, like right behind them, right? I'm pointing it, but you can't see my hands, right? But so they'll be like, what's on the menu? And it's like, there's a giant fucking menu behind me. You want me to read you the whole thing? And so there's two different phenomenons that are going on simultaneously that are people are both calling the Gen Z stare. One of them is customers being stupid and asking stupid questions, which happens a lot if you've ever worked in any sort of customer-facing business. It doesn't even need to be retail. Like, honestly, I used to work in tech support, and I would get calls. I want to explain to you here. I worked in tech support for a shipping company, for our shipping platform, and I would get calls asking me to help them fix their printer. Not my job, right? I don't have to fix your printer for you. I'm not the printer salesman, and I don't know every printer. Like, I don't have every printer on hand that I can know the quirks of every single printer. And they're like, I have this printer. Tell me how it works. And I'm like, you have to talk to the printer. I could tell you how our system sends a print. And that's just a basic thing through Windows, right? But it's not going to tell you why your printer is misaligned. That's a printer settings thing that I just literally don't have the ability to know that, because I don't have every printer in the universe in front of me that I can test it out and learn how to do that. I can give you basic advice. Like, I know how to do a regular HP printer because we have one of them in the office, but I don't have like an inkjet laser printer for printing shipping labels. We did have one, so I was able to learn how to do that one from that brand. And like, I could sort of walk people through some stuff, but honestly, it was like, usually it was like, I was like, you have to just contact the printer company. I literally don't have the ability to provide you support for that. Yeah, it's like every printer is different. Every printer is different in all these little ways and has all its different settings and all its different things. And most of them you can't even access from your computer. You have to press buttons on the printer to access them. And I literally don't have the menus in front of me because I don't have the printer. I can't press the buttons and go through it to walk you through it. But I would get calls like that all the time. And my boss would be like, well, just help them. I'm like, I can't. I literally, like, it's like me asking you, how do you switch to fifth gear on like a Bugatti? It's like, do you have a Bugatti to know that? I mean, sure, maybe I could look up technical manuals on the internet, but I'm going to be blind and I won't be able to like walk them through step by step with knowledge, which is it's an integral part of giving tech support, is knowing what you're fucking talking about and having experience with it so that you can provide support. If I'm just reading a booklet to them off the internet and I don't have any idea if any of it's true or accurate or even the right model, that's not going to be a reliable source of information. And so setting that expectation that people can call me and honestly, like, it's a waste of our money. Like, you're paying me rather than helping customers who need actual help with their shipping interface, which is what was hired to help them with. Well, I was actually hired to do data entry, but I shifted around within the business. It was a small business, only like 30 people, so whatever. But like you're paying me to sit here and do something I don't know how to do, that I shouldn't be doing because I don't have the experience or the skill set or the tools to do, and wasting my time and your money when they could just call the printer company who pays people who are actual experts and know what they're doing and are reliable and could fix the problem much quicker. And then it's stressing me out because every time I give them a wrong piece of information, they get mad at me. So it reduces like my sanity, and for offering something that we shouldn't offer, because that's not what you should do. Like, it's just a bad practice. Anyway, so it's a thing with businesses. They want to encourage their employees to like do whatever the customer says. Like, customer's always right. But it's like, if you actually look into how that affects businesses, it's always negative. It always affects your bottom line in a negative way. Doing the customer is always right. They did like studies, like businesses that, try to please their customers, is like you wind up wasting a lot of money doing things that you shouldn't do. You should, like, being somewhat specialized and focusing just in your area of expertise is actually like a good thing, because then you're efficiently using your time and money, and you're not hiring a bunch of people to answer questions based on printers when you're not a printer company. Yeah. And customers are more satisfied because you go, hey, you have to contact your printer company because it's a printer problem. It's not a problem with our system. And obviously the printer company is often going to tell them the opposite. Like, oh, it's the problem with your system, not the printer. But it is. So sometimes I wouldn't mind going, like, staying on the phone with them as they call the printer company to explain to them, like, hey, we went through all these steps on our end. There's nothing wrong. But, because often people will be persuaded by the other customer support that, no, they need to call me back. And it's like, nah. So sometimes I'll do that just because it's easier. Anyway, enough talking about printers and customer service. Gen Z stare, from what I can tell, is not really a thing. It's people expecting the low wage workers to be subservient and treat them like kings. And in my day, we had respect, kind of shit, which is not true. Because I know most of the people that I see that are complaining about it are around my age, 40s, right? 40s, 50s. And I know for a fact that around my age, I had a friend who worked in McDonald's who would tell me the horror stories of his coworkers taking their bare ass and putting it on the burgers before serving it to customers. And so there definitely was no respect. In my day we had respect for the customer is just a fantasy that people have been saying since like the 60s, not before that even. Yeah, real disgusting shit. People have been doing real disgusting shit for a while. And I mean, you see it in movies too. Like if you look all the way back to like, I don't know, Revenge of the Nerds and like Porky's, like back in the 80s, there's like things of like, people doing nasty shit to people's orders or treating them like shit when they're rude. And really, it just is, it's the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would have done unto you. And if you're nice to the customer service people and you don't give them an attitude and you're respectful and you ask, 9 times out of 10, they will be respectful to you. And the more disrespectful other people are, the more that those people are going to be upset and stressed out and mad, because while you are interacting with a cashier at Burger King once a week, they are interacting with people at that cashier at that same location 100 or 200, maybe even 300 times a day. And so they have to deal with it constantly. They have to deal with these questions constantly. So yes, they do get tired of certain questions and they might roll their eyes. But, you know, maybe there's a slight reason. Anyway, enough of me ranting and raving and being boring about customer service. Wait, where's my model? Hold on. It is somewhere here. There we go. I think it's time to start the game. I mean, I have some videos I could put on, memes, whatever. But I'd rather do this. Let's see if that works. Ooh, that's over everything. Game capture work. Why did it shift over there? Why is it a half black screen? Why is it not a full? Wait, that's not in the right place anyway. Try that. I mean, that works a little bit better. I mean, I don't know if the game capture is working. If game capture is working, I should use game capture, I think. I think it uses less resources, if I remember correctly. Alright. I think it's going to work with my model. Let me just this here. Resources are kind of taxed right now, but it's holding steady. My model is not lagging a lot. Let me see if I could actually open my monitor, my stream monitor. Not my monitor, but like I have a thing to make sure that my stream is good. And if I can keep that open, that would be better than not having it open. Just allows me to keep a better eye on chat and requests and stuff.